2025 has recently begun, which means time to do a list of my most anticipated films of the year. And I think 2025 looks like a great year for film, from exciting blockbusters, animation, and interesting new projects from talented filmmakers. A few things I want to say before I get into the list though. Number one, I do want to stick with movies that are confirmed to be coming out this year. There is one film I want to put in the top 5, and that is Paul Thomas Anderson's new film with Leonardo DiCaprio. I have been hearing that it's supposed to come out in August, but I have been hearing rumors that it might be pushed back to 2026. So I'm not really feeling too comfortable putting that movie on the list if it's going to be pushed back. But if there is a confirmation that it's coming out this year, I'll probably put it in the top 5. And curious to see if other movies later this year could appear on my radar. For example, in 2024, I didn't know anything about Anora until it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival later in May. And other movies like Longlegs, I heard about that movie in spring. Then I saw that movie and I absolutely loved it. So we'll see what happens here with other films that could sneak up on my radar later. And time for the list. And before we get into the top 5 list, I have a bevy of honorable mentions. 15. I was thinking about doing a top 10 list, but I kind of had a hard time arranging 6 through 10, and I was thinking, I kind of feel more comfortable doing a top 5 rather than a top 10. So let's get through those honorable mentions, and those films are Thunderbolts, Captain America Brave New World, The Bad Guys 2, Elio, The Black Phone 2, Ballerina, Wolfman, Sinners, Nobody 2, Warfare, Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2, 28 Years Later, and for these last 2 honorable mentions, the second to last one might surprise some people that it's not in my top 5. I'm still excited for it, and that is Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, I still love that first Avatar movie. I liked Avatar The Way of Water, but I didn't absolutely love that movie. I felt like some scenes in that movie went on for way too long, and I felt like there were some things needed for improvement. So I'm curious to see where James Cameron takes the story and how he evolves with the technology, and he is amazing with spectacle. And what I've seen from the concept art of Avatar 3, it looks incredible, so I can't wait to see a trailer. It's just not quite in my top 5 for now. Final honorable mention that just missed the cut, Mickey 17. This is Bong Joon-ho's follow-up to Parasite, which was absolutely phenomenal. And you got a fantastic cast here: Robert Pattinson, Mark Ruffalo, Steven Yeun, Toni Collette. And I do love the mix of dark comedy and sci-fi. Trailer looks great. I can't wait for this movie. It was supposed to come out last year, but it kept getting pushed back. And I remember it was supposed to come out mid-April, but now it's coming out earlier in March, so I can't wait to see Bong Joon-ho's next film. And with those honorable mentions out of the way, let's get into the top 5 list. Coming in at number 5 is a new horror movie coming out in a month that I'm really excited for, and that is The Monkey from Osgood Perkins. This is Osgood Perkins' follow-up to Longlegs from last year. That was a fantastic, gripping, slow burn horror film. I know some people didn't love Longlegs. It was a little divisive, but I'm on the side that absolutely loved it. And just watching his amazing direction in that film, I was excited to see what his follow-up film could be. And so far from what I'm seeing from The Monkey, I like that he's branching out in horror. From what I've heard about The Monkey, it is supposed to be like an absurdist, dark horror comedy, similar to the work of Joe Dante or John Landis. And this is actually based off a Stephen King short story about these pair of twins that find this wind-up monkey toy in their father's attic until things get crazy. And this movie looks insane, a gory dark comedy, and it looks like a blast. You got a good cast involved. Theo James is playing the 2 twins. Tatiana Maslany is in this. Elijah Wood, Frodo Baggins is in this movie. Let's go. And I did see a little clip that uploaded to YouTube on Christmas Eve, and from what I've seen from it, it looks intense, crazy, and that clip ended abruptly. I was like, oh, I wanted more, but I'll wait for the movie in a month. Osgood Perkins, I absolutely love Longlegs. I can't wait to see The Monkey. Coming in number 4 is my most anticipated MCU film of the year, and my second most anticipated comic book film of what's coming out this year, The Fantastic Four: First Steps. I am optimistic about Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts. This one, from what I've been hearing about it, really gets me excited. And sadly, the Fantastic Four haven't really had a good track record in the past. The one in the 90s from Roger Corman is cheesy as hell. And as for the 2 Fantastic Four movies that came out in 2000s, I think they're okay superhero movies that I have nostalgia for, but I do think there was a lot to be improved upon. And then we get to the 2015 reboot, which was abysmal. It was so grim, boring, joyless, and They deserve better, and Doctor Doom was ridiculous in that movie. I hated the 2015 Fan4stick movie. That's my pick for the worst film of 2015 and one of my worst comic book movies of all time. So after how much of a disaster that movie was critically and financially, let's see what the MCU can do with the Fantastic Four. And from what I've heard, sounds very promising. Got Max Shackman, who is directing this, and I thought he did a great job with WandaVision, which is one of the most popular MCU TV shows on Disney+. And as for the casting of the Fantastic Four, I think they're all fantastic. Yeah, forced pun, I know, but whatever. I love this cast. For Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch, and Ebon Moss-Backrack as the Thing. I'm really excited to see their chemistry since the Fantastic Four is known as Marvel's first family. Let's really hope they sell that family dynamic with each other. And there is one casting choice that does get me excited about one of the villains in the film, Galactus. And what I've been hearing, we are getting a comic accurate Galactus, unlike in Rise of the Silver Surfer, and was like, that's not really Galactus. And what is getting me excited about Galactus? Ralph Ineson is playing him. Now, if you're not familiar with this actor, let me refresh your memory on some films. The Witch, The Green Knight, and Nosferatu. And if you heard his voice, he has a really deep voice where I can really see him as a menacing villain. Look at this scene from The Green Knight.
1 year hence.
Imagine that voice as Galactus. Whoever was the casting director for this, you did a good job. Just do not waste Galactus or this actor. And I'm liking that this is like a 1960s retro futuristic setting that does have potential for it to be one of the more unique MCU films. I am a little cautious if Marvel will deliver a good Fantastic Four movie, but for the most part, I'm getting optimistic about this film. From the talent involved, the interesting ideas, I think we're in good hands here. I'm excited to see a trailer for this movie. I predict it's probably going to come out either on Super Bowl Sunday or before Captain America Brave New World comes out in February. That's my guess. But nevertheless, I'm excited to see the tone, vibe for this film. So please, be a good, if not great, Fantastic Four movie. Please. Coming in number 3 is a new murder mystery in a franchise from Netflix, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Rian Johnson is back writing and directing a new Knives Out mystery. Daniel Craig is back as Benoit Blanc. I am so in. Now that Daniel Craig has been done with 007 a few years ago with No Time to Die, this seems to be his new franchise for now, and I'm here for it. I love both Knives Out movies. The first Knives Out was such an entertaining murder mystery whodunit film, a fantastic ensemble cast, witty screenplay, interesting twists and turns, and this is my favorite Rian Johnson film. And Glass Onion was as equally great, that continues to keep this franchise entertaining. And with the third film, I'm excited for a new Knives Out whodunit. And like in the first two, Rian Johnson just loves to get star-studded cast for these Knives Out movies. This one looks like no exception. And just listing the cast right now, this looks fantastic. From 2 MCU actors joining the cast, Jeremy Renner and Josh Brolin, Hawkeye and Thanos in a Knives Out movie, yes please. And not only those two, but for the supporting cast, we have Josh O'Connor, who was recently in Challengers, Andrew Scott from All of Us Strangers, Kaylee Spaney, who was recently in Civil War and Alien Romulus. Love seeing her get more work. Glenn Close, Mila Kunis, Kerry Washington, Thomas Hayden Church. This is a terrific supporting cast we have here alongside Daniel Craig. And something interesting about the Knives Out movies, I love that the first film was a traditional whodunit mystery similar to Agatha Christie. Glass Onion was a bit more of a sci-fi comedy. And from what I could tell on the title announcement teaser for this, it does seem to be hinting at something more darker and sinister. So I'm liking that each Knives Out movie is starting to feel more distinct from the others. I am super excited for a new Knives Out mystery, hoping it maintains the same strength as its predecessors from wit, subversiveness, and engagement. I am a little sad it is going to be on Netflix. I do wish it had a longer theatrical release. I would have loved to seen it in theaters, and I missed out on seeing Glass Onion in its theatrical run. But this is hands down my most anticipated Netflix movie coming out this year. Can't wait to see a trailer, what's it about, and more of Daniel Craig's charm as Benoit Blanc, talking more about the donut hole theory and pineapple juice in his whiskey. No, it's just dumb. God, I love Daniel Craig so much in this role. He is so good. Coming in at number 2 is the newest installment in one of the most exhilarating, thrilling, and consistent action franchises we have right now, Mission Impossible 8, The Final Reckoning. If there is one action franchise that has stayed consistent for over 10 years now, it's Mission Impossible. I am a huge fan of this franchise. First, Mission Impossible, good start to the franchise. 2, definitely the weakest of the franchise. 3, really good and starting to find its footing. Ghost Protocol was where this series really took off and was awesome. Rogue Nation was great. Mission Impossible Fallout was absolutely phenomenal and the best of the franchise. And Dead Reckoning Part 1, or just Dead Reckoning, was fantastic. 3 and beyond have been phenomenally directed, have riveting stories, and of course, exhilarating action with jaw-dropping stunts. And need I remind you, Tom Cruise is 60. You got Tom Cruise giving it his all as Ethan Hunt. And I'm so happy that ever since Rogue Nation, Christopher McQuarrie is back directing. He is such a reliable action director for this franchise. And he knows how to create incredible spectacle for the audience to truly admire the amount of work put into the stunt work. And the supporting cast is back from Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, who I loved in Dead Reckoning. And that teaser trailer that came out in November, God, this looks fantastic. I am so excited for a new Mission Impossible movie. These movies just haven't gotten old to me. I'm always pumped for a new one. Based on what I can tell from the teaser trailer and the title, could this be the final Mission Impossible movie? It does seem to have some finality to it. But Tom Cruise has said he wants to continue these Mission Impossible movies till he's 80, which that's insane. I mean, just for his age and how he's willing to just do these amazing stunts for our entertainment, Tom. He's a madman. I can't wait to see what the story is and how it's going to continue after Dead Reckoning. And the action, of course, looks incredible just from the teaser and seems to be the biggest stunt here. Tom Cruise hanging on to a plane and that upside down shot. Whoa! Tom, man, he just keeps doing these amazing stunts for his age. Just bravo. And Tom Cruise continuing to prove he is a movie star, continue to deliver fantastic action movies, not just the Mission Impossible movies, but Edge of Tomorrow and Top Gun Maverick. I am so pumped for Mission Impossible 8. Just can't wait for the story, action, just more Mission Impossible. I'm excited. And as for my number 1 most anticipated film of the year. Been hearing about this movie for 2 years now that the teaser trailer came out in December and was one of the highest viewed trailers now. And for a little hint of what my number 1 is, well, it's right here on my t-shirt that was probably a giveaway, and that is indeed Superman from James Gunn. And now that the trailers for my 2 most anticipated films of the year have recently came out, and seeing both of those trailers in front of Sonic 3 reminds me why I'm super excited for both of these movies. I have been anticipating this film ever since James Gunn announced this film in his Chapter 1 slate of Gods and Monsters, that he was writing a new Superman movie, and it would later be confirmed he was going to direct it. A James Gunn directed Superman movie? I am in. And he also said that this is the true beginning of his DC universe. And I'm excited about a fresh new start in a DC universe. After the DCEU has been ruined by inconsistency, bad movies, and box office bombs, we need a fresh new start for DC. This seems to be it. And given that The Suicide Squad is hands down my favorite DCEU movie, and a year later, it was confirmed that James Gunn was going to be CEO of DC, I was very excited to see what he had in store for DC. And a lot of his projects in his DC slate sound very promising and interesting. And I can tell he's really passionate about these stories from the comics and really wants to get them right in either TV or film. And I've been excited for a new Superman movie. And with the suit so far, I was like, let's see how it looks in a trailer. And seeing more set photos and what the tone they're going for, I was excited to see some footage from this movie, and the teaser trailer was released a month ago. I love this teaser trailer. This is a fantastic way to tease us for a new Superman movie. And James Gunn has said in a Letterboxd video that Superman the movie is his second favorite comic book movie. And from what I can tell, he's kind of paying tribute to the Richard Donner Superman movies. He really seems to be understanding the tone, spirit, and character of Superman. How it looks bright, colorful, and it also seems to be hopeful and optimistic, which is what Superman should be. A symbol of hope. And luckily, James Gunn has said this is not an origin story. Good. Been there, done that. Superman the movie, Man of Steel. We've been through the origin story already. We don't need to see it again. Let's tell a new and interesting Superman movie and do what Spider-Man Homecoming and the Batman did. Do not retell the origin story with those characters. And I like the idea about Clark Kent / Superman reconciling with his heritage and balancing that with his human upbringing. And from the teaser, I think David Cornsweet looks like a perfect young Clark Kent / Superman. He really seems to be embodying the spirit, physicality, heroism, and symbol of hope for Metropolis. And having seen this actor in 2 films in supporting roles like Pearl and last year's Twisters, this seems to be like a star-making performance for him, so I'm really excited to see how he does as the Man of Steel. And we also got Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. They look like great choices. And I just hope we get more of a comic-accurate Lex Luthor, and I hope this is a much better Lex Luthor than whatever Jesse Eisenberg was in Batman v Superman. Hey, I got a Jolly Rancher. Cherry, put it in your mouth. Oh, it's Bruce Wayne meeting Clark Kent. I love bringing people together. Do not pick a fight with this guy. Oh, God, his performance as Lex Luthor, just no, that was miscast. Just why? And I'm excited to see some new characters in a Superman movie that haven't been on the big screen before, like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, one of the Green Lanterns, is briefly in a trailer. Hawkgirl is in this. Mr. Terrific. So I'm excited to see those characters in a Superman film, and I don't want it to be a setup movie for DC Universe. How would they contribute to the story to stand out on its own? The effects look well done and amazing, the action looks exciting, and I'm also excited about the flying scenes, hearing they took inspiration from Top Gun Maverick, so that sounds awesome. And is there anything else about this Superman movie that gets me excited? Oh my God, Crypto is in this movie! James Gunn understood the assignment, Crypto is in this movie, I am so in. Everything about that amazing teaser trailer confirms why I'm confident about James Gunn making a new Superman movie and being in charge of DC. As much as I do think Superman Returns and Man of Steel, I think they're fine Superman movies that could have been better. So I really hope this new Superman movie can deliver what I wanted from these 2 movies, but I didn't entirely get them. And based on his phenomenal track record with comic book movies and TV shows, I think he's going to knock this out of the park. I did mention the Suicide Squad earlier, which is my favorite DCEU movie, and of course, delivering a fantastic trilogy in the MCU. Guardians of the Galaxy, still fantastic. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, still I think is the most underrated film of the MCU that I love the more I watch it. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was such an exciting, funny, and emotional conclusion to these characters. I have yet to watch Peacemaker. I'm excited to. I will before this new Superman movie comes out. But I just finished Creature Commandos Season 1. I love that show. Although I do feel like the final episode was a little rushed. For the most part, I absolutely love that show. Please watch it if you haven't already. That show is so freaking good. And Creature Commandos is already a great and awesome start to the DCU. Just everything about this Superman movie gets me excited. I really hope it doesn't disappoint. And those are my picks for my most anticipated films of the year. I'm really excited about what's coming out this year. I really hope these movies deliver. So I really hope this is a great year for film. So I would like to hear from you guys. What are your picks for your most anticipated films of the year? Do you have a top 5, top 10, or your number 1 pick? Let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy my top 5 list and want to see more videos like this in the future? If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here, and don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. My social media links are in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you'd like to see my written reviews, I do have a Letterboxd account, so if you'd like to follow me on there as well. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.